shooting down a military helicopter with a rocket-propelled grenade.
I ain't gonna lie. Don't try to fight no clown, bro. You see a clown, get up out of there. Hell no. Bro, see, look. This is... I already don't mess with cartels, bro. Like, you see these videos, bro. When they coming and looking for somebody, they roll deep, bro. It be like 50 and they all got AKs and LMGs, and I'm not with none of that, bro. Y'all can have that. Imagine you see them wearing clown masks, bro. Like, don't get me wrong, bro. I ain't scared of nobody, but somebody coming down the street with a clown mask, with an AK.
Clowns. If not,
going for that,
you might
bro.
develop one by the end
Not
of this
gonna
video.
be there.
For a long time now, popular culture has depicted clowns as creepy or even evil. Cartel, or CJ&G, has been terrorizing Mexico for over a decade now.
Y'all don't know, that's El Mencho's cartel, bro. That, like, they ruthless, bro. Like, you see how they they not the military. Don't let that fool you, bro. They is not the military, bro. They ain't nothing to be played with.
Far more brutal.
None of them ain't nothing to be played with, but
Cartel and even Pablo Escobar's Blood Empire. Now they have an army of evil clowns who torture rival cartel members to death and film their horrific deeds with a nasty man called Nemesio Azaguirre Cavazos, aka El Mencho. He was born in July 1966 and grew up in a family of poor avocado farmers. By the 1980s, he illegally immigrated to the United States, but he committed so many petty crimes there that he was soon deported. Already desensitized to violence and willing to do anything for quick cash, he joined the Milenio Cartel. But the Milenio Cartel was slowly decimated and broken into tiny factions. So in 2009, El Mencho started his own cartel. Initially, it was called Los Torcidos, or the Twisted Ones. Considering what they ended up doing, perhaps this name was more fitting than Jalisco New Generation Cartel.
CJ&G is the single criminal organization most responsible for these deaths on both sides of the border.
The Jalisco New Generation Cartel took the fight to the next level, shooting down a military helicopter with a rocket-propelled grenade.
Tonight, the DEA...
Hold on. What he just say, bro?
Generation Cartel took the fight to the next level, shooting down a military helicopter with a rocket-propelled grenade.
You mean to tell me they shot down, like, I can't, bro. They shot down a military helicopter with an RPG. That's wild, bro. That's wild, bro. Like,
for information leading to the arrest of the Mexican drug kingpin known as El Mencho.
El Mencho was inspired by Los Zetas cartel and its militarized structure.
Bro.
He, however, took it to the next level, arming thousands of violent men with huge rifles, army tanks, and grenades.
Heavy machine guns, and also this gun. This is a 50 caliber sniper rifle. It's a powerful weapon that the CJ&G loves to show off.
The CJ&G rules by fear, kidnapping, torture, and keeping anyone who stands in their way. Sometimes it's rival cartels, and other times it's police officers, and even civilians. They have no regard for human life. All they care about is making money and spreading the message that they are now in charge. But El Mencho doesn't just do this with military weapons and an organized structure. He also recruits the absolute worst people in Mexico. One of them is Fabian Urbino Morales, aka El Payaso. El Payaso means the clown in Spanish.
I don't know how many cartels is it, bro? Like, I'm hearing all these different names.
Same horrible clown mask. But the terrifying gang didn't earn a name just for their masks. They had incredibly gruesome methods of dealing with the rival cartel members.
In this place, Mencho and his people recruited them when they saw the way they executed their rivals. They put them in gasoline drums.
El Mencho saw Morales and his gang burning and flaying his victims alive. For him, this was proof that Morales would make a great captain. As I said, El Mencho recruits the very worst people around.
Yo, see, look, here, bro, like, I'm from America, bro. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm from one of the most dangerous cities in America. I'm not saying that, you feel me, you know how some people try to be like, oh, my city better than you. Not doing that. I'm just letting you know where I'm coming from. Here we see, you know, Crips, Bloods, all that, you know, the local gangs, you feel me? And then you might got some MS-13s and all that, right? But cartels, bro, the way they operate, different, bro. Like, they control all of, you know, the DRUGS. I don't know if I can say it, bro. I don't know if I can say it, but they control all that. So all that's funded through America, bro. Like
CJ&G,
I mean, not funded through, but you feel me? Is
cartel in Mexico,
second
only to El Chapo and El Mayo's notorious Sinaloa cartel. This is
that's a lot of money being made, bro. They got that power
with avocados.
The economical power behind the Cartel Jalisco. They literally started with avocados, so they were farmers. They literally started moving from avocados to chemical precursors to make products like methamphetamine. It's like,
see,
okay,
he blurred out the DRUGS.
They
like YouTube, they on something
Needless
right
to say, Fabian Morales became El Mencho's trusted man, so trusted that El Mencho encouraged him and his henchmen to keep wearing the terrifying masks. After all, CJ&G's end goal is to spread as much pain as possible. Morales became one of the commanders of the criminal structure of Miguel Fernandez, LM2, lieutenant of one of the CJ&G's regions, with his most evil side encouraged by
names, dummy. I ain't gonna lie, these names be hard, bro. Like, these names be hard, bro.
By the 2010s, there was another problem. Cartel members could easily film videos of their most brutal acts and upload them to the internet. This spread a clear message. Don't mess with us. Warning. Very graphic details ahead. Skip ahead the next couple minutes if you don't want to hear the contents of the car.
What y'all think we should do, y'all? What y'all think we should do? We think we should skip it or what, bro? It's like, no, we watching this, bro. Oh, and shout out to all the, you feel me, the, you know what I mean, my Hispanic supporters, man. I see y'all be watching the videos, y'all be commenting. Appreciate you, bro. And shout out to all my supporters. You feel me? I appreciate y'all for real, bro. Like, we gonna make it, bro. I appreciate y'all for real.
Video. It's unclear whether the infamous Quiero Agua video was done by Fabian Morales under his orders or just by his vile henchmen. In the video, the CJ&G clowns have kidnapped a rival cartel member, most likely a former member of La Familia. The victim has never been identified, as the video begins with a flipped face. The 30-second video shows a man inches away from death after the evil clowns had already removed all skin from his face and other body parts. But this is not the only gruesome, blood-chilling part of the video. Something that shows the true nature of Morales and his gang. And for what it's worth, the CJ&G is the way the men taunt their victim, mocking him and laughing at his pain. At one point, the men kept asking him if he wants water, but imagine having to talk without a face.
Agua? ¿Eh? Dime recio. Que me digas con la boca.
The man wheezes in pain. It's pretty clear he just wants to die, but the clowns keep taunting him, keeping him alive for as long as possible. His voice is raspy and weak, but this only amuses the clowns. Seeing a scene like this in a horror movie could be enough to give you sleepless nights and maybe even anxiety attacks. So it's hard to comprehend how a bunch of people could do this to another human being, being inches away from it, and laugh at it. Just how many things have to go wrong for someone to end up like these clowns? To think Fabian Morales and his henchmen were once babies. Can you imagine the violence they witnessed? Or perhaps even suffered
bro, a lot of
before
people,
they became
brought up
these
into
psychopathic
that,
monsters? No animal would do this. Animals kill for food or to survive.
They insane things
that cartel and its horrifying soldiers.
Kids shouldn't be seeing, bro.
These cartels as a means.
And I ain't talking about like
power,
selling, you know, bags or
the CJ&G made
you know what I mean, stuff like that. I'm talking about like real life.
Share and watch pretty much anything online. This is becoming even more dangerous.
Yeah,
violence spreads easily, and being exposed to it early on can lead to a
chopped
dark and
up,
violent
all
life.
that. Like I don't want to go too in detail.
Don't go
because I don't know how
this video or other videos posted by CJ&G. How are they not in prison already? Well, you'll be pleased to know Fabian Morales has finally been arrested. In October 2019, the CJ&G orchestrated a huge ambush on the police, taking the lives of 13 officers. This wasn't the first time the CJ&G was targeting police officers and taking more than a dozen lives in one day. But this time, the police used the ambush as a perfect context to launch their own operation.
If I was living in Mexico,
so
I wouldn't be a police officer.
The Michoacan police launched a huge sting operation on the CJ&G.
Not doing
At
that,
least
bro.
They
Don't
got
put
their
me in the
hands
middle
on
of none of
Nazo
that.
and a few of his henchmen. Interestingly enough, This was the same sting operation that ended the life of La Catrina.
I think we watched a video on her too.
Tranquila, mija, ya viene el helicóptero por ti. Ya viene el helicóptero. Tranquila, hija, tranquila.
Yeah, we watched. I think we seen a video on her.
La Catrina had joined CJ&G back in 2017 when she was just 19, but she had such an extreme thirst for blood that she was soon propelled to hit squad commander. El Mencho encouraged her drive to torture and kill, and even supported her regular hits on police officers. That's right, La Catrina had given the order of the October ambush. The Michoacan police even had a recording of her voice ordering the hit. There was no way she would get out of this. La Catrina was hit in the jugular. She succumbed to her wounds in the helicopter on the way to the hospital. But the same couldn't be said about Fabian Morales and his fellow evil clowns. They were arrested and taken to prison. As news of his arrest made headlines throughout Mexico, it became clear that El Payaso had another brother in the CJ&G.
El Payaso is the brother of a person nicknamed El Jaguar, a former military man and former member of the CJ&G Delta Group.
It turns out that El Jaguar was a member of the CJ&G before El Payaso joined. He was still working as a regular circus clown when his brother was killing and maiming for cash. Perhaps it was El Jaguar that convinced El Payaso to join the cartel. Or perhaps they grew up in an already violent world where death is normalized and the general mentality is kill or be killed. Now, this isn't an excuse or even an explanation for what they ended up doing. If you saw this in a movie, you'd say it's far-fetched. But to think that this happens in real life is truly worrying. And here's another sad twist. Now Fabian Morales is in prison. It's unlikely he will ever get parole or even escape for that matter. He doesn't have the money or the authority of El Chapo. And even El Chapo found the end of his freedom at the ADX Florence in the United States. But El Payaso legacy is a dark one, and there are many people that look up to him. Some of his evil clowns are still out there, inflicting the kind of pain and suffering that he had taught them. And today, the CJ&G is at the top of its game.
The DEA says his cartel, called Cartel Jalisco, or CJ&G, is responsible for roughly a third of the drugs entering this country by land and by sea.
They're on the brink of being named a terrorist organization. The war between the Sinaloa cartel and the CJ&G and the authorities that want them behind bars have been terrorizing Mexico for more than a decade. The war on drugs is at its very worst, and senseless violence seems far away from an end. In fact, reputable newspapers have argued that the cartels seem to control the government at the moment.
They create these chaos to go and sit with the local politicians and say, like, okay, do you want more or shall we negotiate this?
Still, it's a small victory that Fabian Morales is in prison. This means that the authorities haven't given up. Perhaps in time, enough kingpins and psychopathic commanders will be arrested or dead. And as the violence decreases, young people will be less tempted to join the ranks.
Yeah, bro, like, I'm telling you, them cartels, wow, bro. Like, imagine you see clowns just, like, with AKs riding down the street looking for you. Just looking for you. Yeah. Get at y'all in the next one, bro. Y'all be safe, be careful, have a blessed one, have a great one. Yeah, Nazo out.